Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez called out the Democratic Party establishment and I think also the media after Kennedy's loss to Ed Markey in Massachusetts. So before I go to AOC's tweet and what she was talking about, just a beautiful reminder here of what happened. The first time a Kennedy lost in Massachusetts, right here in front of you, with Ed Markey retaining his Senate seat there, 55% to 44%. Absolutely incredible. Now, this, of course, was a primary challenge. Now, if you read the media and you listen to the quotes that are often put into these articles about what Democratic Party operatives or members of the Democratic Party are saying about these about primary challenges, they always discuss them as being divisive. You know, you're hurting the party by challenging our incumbents. Well, the funny thing is, this challenge was not viewed that way. In fact, as I'll get to, Nancy Pelosi backed Kennedy over Markey, even though she had said in the past that she was against challenging sitting Democratic members. So let me get to AOC's tweet here before I move on. So AOC tweeted out, "Ever notice how primary challenges from progressives are derided as divisive and, quote, bad for the party? Yet folks are oddly silent about how the center/conservative wing of the party just spent millions trying to unseat me, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and Ed Markey. Funny how that works." So yeah, of course, the other part of this as well is just the amount of money that was poured into the challenges against all the candidates here. And there was no issue with that, of course. Democratic Party operatives, Democratic, members of the House that are more center or conservative, no issue at all with challenging these progressive members. But if you dare to challenge someone like Joe Crowley, that AOC defeated, or dare to challenge someone like Elliot Engel, who was defeated by Jamal Bowman, or dare to challenge someone like Lacey Clay, who was defeated by Cori Bush, oh, huge deal. Can't do that. Let me show you how this often works. Matt Visser here tweeted out, this is from back in September 2019, so about almost a year ago exactly. He tweeted out, "Joe Kennedy plans to formally announce Saturday that he's launching a primary challenge to Senator Ed Markey, an audacious political move that could open fissures within the Democratic Party." Kennedy told Markey of his decision today. "Oh, audacious. It is so bold of him to challenge Ed Markey." Yet, the way this is often written about is that if it's a progressive, it's divisive. So this is obviously about AOC here saying, from the New York Times, saying Miss Ocasio-Cortez, a liberal firebrand from the Bronx, has given her chief of staff, Shoyka Chakrabarti, remarkable latitude to pursue the divisive politics that made his name when he led Justice Democrats, a group founded to challenge entrenched Democrats through primary campaigns. Oh, so challenging entrenched Democrats through primary campaigns, when it's a progressive and the Justice Democrats, that is divisive politics. Incredibly divisive politics. But when it's Kennedy, audacious move. Real bold of you, Kennedy. Give you another example here. From this year. Meet Anton Melton Mukes, Ilhan Omar's primary challenger who wants to end divisive politics. So when this really is just throwing it in your face. Here is somebody who is challenging, or was challenging, a sitting Democratic Congresswoman, Ilhan Omar. Instead of that challenge being viewed as being divisive, why are you being divisive? Why are you being divisive by challenging a sitting Congresswoman? No. What's actually divisive is what he is trying to fight. He is in this race to end divisive politics. This stuff is brings me endless joy. The hypocrisy is so damn thick. Now, so this is from the New York Times, sorry, the LA Times. This is them discussing when the DCCC had, let me just read this to give you a better report here. So a move by House Democratic leaders to protect incumbents is reigniting anger and suspicion among the party's progressives ahead of the 2020 election. Under a new policy, the powerful Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee will refuse to hire pollsters, ad makers, or other campaign consultants if they also work with the candidate trying to defeat a sitting Democrat in a primary. So this was the DCCC, their way of working against progressive challengers by refusing to hire these pollsters, ad makers, and other campaign consultants if they worked with those progressives that were challenging sitting Democrats. But if you go down to, if I still have it highlighted here, go down to Nancy Pelosi's view on this. So Congressional Campaign Committee officials and senior House Democrats, including Speaker Nancy Pelosi, defend the policy, saying the group's business is to protect the House majority and incumbent Democratic lawmakers, no matter where they fall on the political spectrum. Oh, okay, so the group's business is to protect Democratic lawmakers. Got to protect them, unless, of course, you are endorsing to get rid of one of them. So Pelosi endorsing Kennedy over Markey in contentious primary. Now, this, of course, was not viewed as being divisive. No, you will find no political article or anything that where the author of the piece is saying that why is Nancy Pelosi being divisive by getting involved in this primary race? No, not at all. Perfectly normal. When you're trying to challenge someone out who's more progressive, Ed Markey being more progressive, perfectly fine to challenge them from the right. But if you're challenging them from the left, no, divisive. Well, why do you hate the Democratic Party? Why are you trying to destroy the party? On and on and on. Now, Justice Democrats have, of course, responded to that at the time. In Politico here, it says, Justice Democrats, which has backed Ocasio-Cortez and other progressives, accused Pelosi of double standards. Quote, "This move reeks of hypocrisy," the group wrote in a statement. "The party is setting one standard for progressives and one entirely different standard for the establishment." There you go. The only time you will ever see any rational takes such as this in places like Politico, though occasionally there are some writers that aren't horrible, but for the most part, the only time you will see rational takes like this is if it's a quote. If they're even willing to get a quote from somebody who has a different view from the status quo. But this, of course, is what AOC is calling out. And it also shows you why Congress people like AOC are so important. You see her doing this now, while Trump is still in power, while sure Democrats have the House but don't have the Senate, don't really have any much political power in the country. Watch what she does if Biden wins the White House and Democrats take the Senate. You will be able to unleash the power of not just AOC, but Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Cori Bush, Jamal Bowman, Ro Khanna. You will see them fight